Hey everybody, it's 8:30. Welcome to Cocktails in the War Room. It's Saturday night, April 18th. We got through another day. There's less purple hair dye on my head because it's slowly starting to come off my head. My bathroom is almost clean with the dye that I splattered all over the place. Ugh. There's lipstick on my teeth. The battle with the lipstick is becoming a daily thing. What's up, Laura? Hey, Ash. Hey, Trisha. What's up, Jeff? Hey, Steve. Hey, Sophia. Hey, Hank. Hey, Paul. What's up, Monica? So it's slowly starting to look like I'm winning the battle with the hair dye. Hey, Tom. Hey, Demetrius. What's up, Will? Thank you guys for joining me once again in the War Room. I know that a lot of my friends that are down around the Camp Lejeune area in North Carolina are watching tonight. So I opted for a Marine Corps glass tonight and a little bit of my friend Tim's lemon moonshine, which is my favorite. So cheers to you guys. You made it through another day. It says in the description of tonight's video that my kitchen is tired. So I have spent pretty much the entire day in the kitchen today. I got the urge to make those anise cookies that I make at Christmas. And so I spent most of the day in the kitchen making my Christmas cookies. And even though I took a shower, my hands still smell like the anise flavoring. I tried to dye the icing, which is normally white, with the little sprinkly balls on top. I dyed the icing as red as I could get it because I tried to make my cookies look like the coronavirus. They came out like a dark shade of pink, but they're delicious. Joseph says, greetings from Saratoga, New York. Thank you very much. Jim says, thank all of my Marine friends down in North Carolina for their service. Absolutely. Cheers. Can we please get the lemon moonshine recipe? Christy wants to know. I am almost positive that my friend Tim is not going to give up his moonshine recipe because he has been working for years on trying to make it a legitimate business. And he has been navigating. Heinz says, you bake? I'm 5th generation Sicilian baker. Come on now, give me a little bit of credit. I grew up in my grandfather's bakery. So my friend Tim has been trying to take this moonshine legal for years, and it's not an easy process to start an alcohol company, especially when you're trying to make it go nationwide. So I guarantee that my friend Tim is not going to give up his lemon moonshine recipe. He does apple moonshine too. I basically volunteer to be his taste tester, but he's got a few different flavors, but the lemon is my favorite. So Kevin says, hello from Kentucky. Nice. Joe says, greetings from up by Sholin Farms, which is an apple orchard in Leominster that grows like the biggest, giantest apples you've ever seen. I go there every year and pick apples. Never tried those cookies before, says Stephanie. The anise cookies, I'll put the picture up. I meant to do it before we got together tonight, but I'll put the picture up. I tried to make the cookies look like the coronavirus, but they're kind of a mess. Don says, hello from Illinois. We got people watching from all over the place tonight. This is fantastic. Share some of the cookies with us, Cindy says. I'll cram them through the phone if I can. Let's see. Bridget says, myself and the hubs are drinking wine and eating lobster and shrimp. So cheers. That is the most masshole thing I have heard all day. Heather says, my grandmother's recipe makes over 100 cookies. So does mine. and I made 2 batches. So I am drowning in anise cookies. But what's funny is that my relatives have been doing drive-bys. So like my cousin Jen came today. She showed up in the driveway. She knew I was baking cookies, and she wanted cookies and a jar of my homemade tomato sauce. And she just texted me a little while ago and said that her dinner and dessert were delicious. So there you go. Cindy wants to know where Wednesday is. She is napping. She is not a fan of the snow. When she first goes outside, her paws are very delicate. But once she got outside, all she wanted to do was run around in the snow with her best friend Zero today. So she ran a lot of laps around the yard in the snow. Did you guys just want to go back to bed when you woke up this morning and there was actual snow on the freaking ground this morning? I woke up and I looked out the window and I was like, that garden that I just put up the new fence last weekend, and I planted my peas and spinach by seed, and now they are under a few inches of snow. Like 2020 needed to give us any other reason to hate it, and now it's the 18th of April, and we're getting snow again. Ooh, Brenda says she made cheese danishes today. When I talked to Mike Shue yesterday on Instagram Live, which if you guys missed that, go to my Instagram story, at Mistress Carrie WAF on Instagram. Mike Shue and I got caught up, and he was talking about how he's been trying to make bread, but there's like a yeast shortage in all the supermarkets because everyone is baking everything. So have you guys tried to bake something that you never tried to make before? Roger says, do you mean tomato gravy? Roger, in my family, we never called it gravy. We always called it sauce. It's a family thing. When your family immigrated from Italy or Sicily, where my family came from, when they got here, some families called it gravy, some families called it sauce. We never called it gravy, but yes, my tomato sauce, I jarred it, and I've been giving it out in the driveway to my relatives. Jillian said I literally gave the middle finger to the snow this morning. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And of course the kids loved it, which is great because you could at least send them outside for a while and have them burn off some of the energy that they've been locked in the house. Just ridiculous. Tim says my mom and grandma did those cookies in a few designs with knots, etc. Yeah, mine have red icing and like blue and green sprinkles on them because I tried to, like I said, make them look like the coronavirus. Heidi said she made homemade calzones. That is delicious. Drea says my friend got yeast off of eBay. That's what we've like resorted to, is that people are trying to find things like yeast because they want to bake at home and try to use those bread makers that you got as a wedding gift that you've never used the whole time you've lived in your house. And now all of a sudden you're like, oh, maybe we could try to bake some stuff. Actually, my cousin Jen's watching now. Jen, I was just talking about you. Eating the cookies and the tomato sauce. I'm glad your dinner was good. Jen says flour and sugar are limited in stores too. Tracy says it's sauce, never gravy. I'm telling you, it just depends on where your family came from and then what your family called. Baking like crazy. Cupcakes yesterday, garlic bread today, and apple muffins tomorrow, Kara says. Mickey said it snowed in Rhode Island. Jeff says, you guys are killing me. I love food. I know. I got my yeast today from Amazon, Tammy said. So there you go. If you can't find it at your supermarket, I guess you can either find a friend. Like I told Mike Shue that I had yeast packets like packed away in my zombie closet. I told him that I had a recipe, you know, those Auntie Anne's pretzels you get at the mall. I found a recipe online to make those pretzels at home. I don't do it often because it makes like 16 pretzels. And it's like, what am I going to do? Sit in my house and eat 16 pretzels by myself? Now, could I do it? 100%. Do I want to do it? No. But I do have some of that yeast. Mike Shue was like, would you make me some of those pretzels and drive them by? And if I spend a few more days in the house, I might actually think about it. So Jonathan says, yes, yeast is hard to get. Rob says, no snow here in Western Mass. Most of the snow is gone now, and it's going to be 60 degrees and sunny tomorrow, which is going to be great. So I can't wait for that because I'm going to try and get the rest of like my little fire pit area set up in the backyard so that maybe I could invite like, I know, a friend or two, socially distancing in the backyard, 6 feet apart in all directions in the back patio, but at least we'd be able to sit by a fire and like have a cocktail some night. I mean, maybe I could do a cocktails in the war room from out back by the fire one night, which would be very cool. William just writes, who cares? William, look. You got to take victories in the little things, man. Is it Italian cookies? Jeff says, yes, my Italian cookies, absolutely. Can you show us the zombie closet, Billy wants to know. Absolutely not. Hell no. In this time, you don't want to show people your stash. No way. But all those people that are on those couponing shows that have that stockpile in their basement, they don't look so crazy anymore, right? Exactly. Just another New England weekend, says Timothy. Katie says, I'm over cooking and then the dishes. It's never ending. I haven't done this many loads in the dishwasher and this many loads of laundry. Like, I feel like I do a load of laundry every couple days because I'm literally washing. I'm looking for stuff to wash just to have something to do. And then I'm doing a load of dishes in the dishwasher every day because I'm just cooking stuff. Like... Oh, Brett says Eddie Vedder is playing on the One World Together show right now. Oh, great. There go my ratings, Brett. Awesome. I can't compete with Eddie freaking Vedder. Put him on your TV and then keep your mobile phone or your tablet or whatever on so you can watch Eddie Vedder and still hang out with me in the war room. Jonathan says, been making cookies and all of the other baked goods. Susan says, I can't find flour. I know. And then Joe says, it's 70s in North Carolina if you ever want to crash at our house. Thanks a lot, Joe. Appreciate it. Yeah, to all my friends down in North Carolina. Tracy says, never reveal your stash. I know. Amanda says, my fiance's father is an extreme couponer. Now, normally, the zombie prepper people and the coupon people would be like cuckoo, batshit crazy to you. But the last month, all of a sudden, you're looking at those coupon people going, I wonder when double coupon day is at my supermarket. Lou says, good for you. Keep it locked up. Yeah, exactly. Deb says, watching you and Eddie Vedder at the same time. That's fantastic. Bill says, so it's appropriate now to ask to see your cookie? Really? I want to show you guys my shirt because there's a great story with it. Yes, I'm wearing a Spin Doctors t-shirt. I dug this out of my archives. I got this shirt, I believe it was in 1993, at the old Riverside Park out in Agawam, before it was Six Flags. It was a park called Riverside Park. And the Spin Doctors played with the Screaming Trees and Soul Asylum. I know it's going to be hard for you to imagine, but the Spin Doctors for a hot minute were considered a rock band before they crossed over and Two Princes got played on your mom's radio station and then they never came back or whatever. So me and 6 other friends were going to take 2 cars because at the time I had a Ford Escort hatchback. I was in college. I was still interning in AAF. And we were going to take 2 cars, and we were going to go out to Agawam, and we were going to go see the Spin Doctors Soul Asylum and the Screaming Trees. And we were on the Mass Pike, and my friend's car broke down. The state troopers pulled over. We got the car, not my car, but my friend's car. We got it towed off the pike. We decided that we were going to put all 7 people into my Ford Escort hatchback and continue on to the show. Now, it's the middle of the summer. We're going to cram 7 people into my Escort. So as we're getting ready to cram into the car, we were waiting for the trooper to leave because we don't have 7 seatbelts in my Ford Escort. And the trooper says, do you guys have everything out of this car before the tow truck took it? And we're like, yep, we think so. And then my friend Woody, now everybody's got a friend from college named Woody. And everybody from college, sorry, I was pointing at you with my pen. Everybody's friend Woody from college can't be trusted. If your nickname is Woody, you are not trustworthy. And all of your friends will back me up on this. So my friend Woody looks at the trooper on the pike in 1993 and goes, yeah, we got everything other than the kilo of Coke out of the trunk. We're all like, really, Woody? because one of the friends that was in my car had stuff in his pocket and was like, you guys are going to get me arrested. And so we all 7 of us get in my Ford Escort, didn't get arrested, no thanks to Woody. We go out to Riverside Park, we go to the show. Soul Asylum was awesome. Screaming Trees were awesome. Spin Doctors headlined. Like I said, they were, yes, it looked like a clown car with all of us piling out of the Escort. So the Spin Doctors start playing, right? And they're playing and whatever. And it's like they had one song for a while. And then they had a second single, and I don't remember what it was. And then after that, nobody heard from the Spin Doctors ever again. But anyway, the reason why I bought the shirt was not that I was this massive Spin Doctors fan, but I bought the shirt because I wanted the memory, because I almost died, mark my words, I almost died in a mosh pit during the Spin Doctors. And you're like, nobody moshes during the Spin Doctors. Okay, yes, they did. In 1993, they did. So we're outdoors. Riverside Park had a racetrack. They used to have all these outdoor shows. I'm sure you guys have been to many shows at Riverside. They had some awesome shows. Anyway, towards the end of the set, because it was the only song anybody knew, the Spin Doctors start playing Two Princes, and everybody started jumping up and down like Slipknot was playing. It was insane. And everybody's getting pushed closer and closer to the stage. And I like got picked up because I was getting squished, and I was getting crammed into the barricade in the front row. And finally, the security guards, like they do now all the time, pulled me over the barricade and like sent me around like I was crowd surfing. But I was getting crushed against the barricade during the Spin Doctors. So, why? I know. Krista says, how the hell? Why the hell? In 1993, thank you, Sean, people moshed at every show. It was just what they did. And so I bought this ridiculous Spin Doctors shirt because I wanted to remember not only 7 of us in my Ford Escort on the Pike, not only my buddy Woody almost getting us arrested by telling the Mass State Trooper there was a kilo of coke in the trunk of my friend's car, but then when we got out there, piled out of my Escort, like a clown car, and then watched the show, and then I saw my life pass before my eyes as the air was being crushed out of my lungs in a mosh pit during the Spin Doctors. So I wore this ridiculous shirt for you guys tonight so that I could tell you that story. So I got hit in the lawn at Great Woods at a Soul Asylum show. Yeah, like back then, that was like an awesome, the Spin Doctors were like considered like a rock band. And Soul Asylum was always great. And the Screaming Trees were great. So we were like, yeah, let's go. Karina says, oh man, I've been there. Slipknot Local Bazooka was one of my many times. Yeah. Like those Slipknot pits from like the late 90s and early 2000s, people used to act like that, like during the Spin Doctors. In the height of like the grunge era, like Sherry says Ford Escort was my first car. I had 3 of them. I had the old red one. Then I had like a green, like that weird teal green one. That was the first stick shift that I ever owned. And then I had my first new car when I first signed my first contract at AAF was a black Ford Escort ZX2. And I was like, oh my God, I made it because it was the first new car I ever owned. I signed my first contract with AAF in 1998, and I was like, I'm going to buy a new car, and I bought this ZX2 black. It had camel-colored interior. God, was I cool back then. Oh my God, thank you for the reference, Eric. Eric says, sounds like my cousin Vinny. I wore this ridiculous thing for you. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. Carol says, your hair looks amazing. Oh, thank you. It's starting to be more purple than black from my at-home dye job. It doesn't look half as good as it would if my hairdresser Linda had done it, but I got to take what I can get right now while we're all in quarantine. Frank says, I had a real Escort wagon. Like back in the day, in the late 80s and 90s, those Ford Escorts, they were like tanks. They were like duck boats. Like you could drive them through anything. I drove them through blizzards. Like those things were unbelievable. They were awesome. Okay, so I got some headlines for you guys now that I showed you this ridiculous shirt that I wore for you guys tonight. Comic-Con has been canceled for the first time in history. It's San Diego Comic-Con, which is insane. The Patriots are going to debut new uniforms on Monday. Are we even ready to talk about Patriots right now? Are we ready to even talk about football? Do we even know if football is going to happen on time? I know the draft is scheduled coming up. It's all going to have to be virtual. It was supposed to be in Vegas. They were going to like build a stage over the fountain at the Bellagio. And now there's like no one there. Eric, the dye's off my ears. Thank you very much for asking. So I don't know exactly how they're going to do the draft, but they're going to figure it out. And the Patriots are going to debut their new uniforms. I don't know what that means. But they're going to have new uniforms on Monday. Canada and the United States agreed to keep the border closed to non-essential travel. The travel ban for U.S. troops has been extended to June 30th. Let me see. Oh, is today your birthday? If today is your birthday, cheers. Happy birthday to you. And you are going to share your birthday with Mark Tremonti from Alter Bridge and from Creed. So there you go. A highly underrated guitar player, by the way. And Tremonti as well. He's got a bunch of bands. But Mark Tremonti, if you've ever seen him play guitar, I'm pretty sure he's doing guitar lessons like on YouTube or online. So if you're looking to learn how to play guitar, Mark Tremonti is a fantastic guitar player. So it's his birthday today. So happy birthday. Some numbers for you, just to run down some of the facts that are coming out. 2.2 million COVID cases have been diagnosed worldwide. There have been 715,000 confirmed cases in the United States. As of right now in the United States, there have been 37,625 fatalities. In Massachusetts, the fatalities are up to 1,560, and that is 156 just in the last 24 hours. I thought this was really interesting that the number of cases is rising in Texas. Sorry, I touched my face touching police. Houston, Texas right now is getting hit the worst. There have been 18,215 confirmed cases in Texas, and so far 453 people have died. Now, I bring it up because Texas is one of the places where people are starting to protest the lockdowns that have been ordered, the social distancing orders that have been ordered by the governors. And in Texas today, they had a demonstration and people were chanting, "Fire Fauci." I just want you to imagine this. They were chanting "Fire Fauci" while they were wearing face masks that Dr. Fauci told everyone to wear to not spread the virus. It's not Dr. Fauci's fault. Okay? He's just the expert that's telling you how contagious this thing is and how to not spread it. But you look like a total douche nozzle if you are protesting the doctor that's trying to give you information while you're wearing a mask that he told you to wear so you don't get sick and you don't make other people sick. If you really don't think it's that dangerous, take off the masks. But you're wearing the mask chanting "Fire Fauci" like you look like idiots. Now, I bring all of this up because there are a lot of people that have not been affected by this yet. Now, I'm not going to get into specifics because it's not my place. But I will tell you that a member of our WAAF family, a former staff member at the station, lost their dad. And so no one that's watching this feed right now can say that they don't know someone that lost someone, because now you do. And like we talk about all the time about what it's like for families to grieve in a time like this, like the Boston Police Department, who held services for Officer Fontanez today, who also passed away from the virus. And we talk about it all the time that, you know, when a police officer is killed, law enforcement officers from around the world converge on that city to pay their respects as part of the greater law enforcement community. And they weren't able to do that for Officer Fontanez in Boston today. And also, this member of the WAF family is not going to be able to have the services for their loved one that they would want to have. And they are not going to be able to grieve the way that they need to grieve. And so if you were fortunate enough to be able to say up until today that you didn't know someone that passed away or didn't know anyone that lost a family member, you do now. And my heart is broken for them because I have told you that I have a few close friends that have lost beloved family members to this. And they are all having a hard time because they have no closure. And I know that I would be going to a funeral this weekend if the situations were different. But obviously, if this virus wasn't here, this person wouldn't have passed away in the first place. But it's like you can't be there for the person. You can't console someone that you care about when they lose a family member, someone close to them. And all you can do is, send them a text? Leave a message on their Facebook page? Like, it's awful when you find out that someone has lost someone like that. And, you know, it really hit home when I, within an hour today, found out that this person who I've known for years lost their dad. And then to watch protesters in Texas chanting "Fire Fauci" while they're wearing masks, I was just like, what? You don't get to get mad at the messenger. It's not Dr. Fauci's fault. Then I saw someone say, the doctor should have known better. This is COVID-19, not COVID number 1. So I just wanted to get this out there just in case you didn't know. COVID-19 has the number 19 on it because it was first detected in 2019 and the 19 came from the year. Not because there were 18 previous COVIDs that they could have learned from. Just in case you didn't know that, I've read some really ridiculous things on the internet and it's like the stupidity is just so high that I'm trying not to get angry about it. I'm just trying to be factual with the things that I say. And if I don't know something or don't understand why something is the way that it is, that I've been trying to at least do my due diligence and look it up. I mean, just in Massachusetts, the Soldiers Home in Holyoke lost 52 veterans now. 52! Just at one Soldiers Home in one town in Massachusetts. It's just heartbreaking. And like Lisa says, Florida, not like the rest of us, opened the beaches back up today. Then I saw that they restricted the hours, that like the beaches like open in the morning and then like open in the afternoon, but it's not open at like peak like sunbathing time because it's only open for like essential things. And they're saying like walking, running, surfing, like exercise things are essential, but people are like flocking to the beaches like nothing is going on. And it's just crazy pants. It's the only way I can describe it. Like crazy pants is just crazy pants. I love this. Barbara says, my son says, take the dumbest person you know and come to terms that half of the people out there are dumber than that. Like, and I'm no genius, but a little bit of common sense is like going to go a long way. You know, just like last night we were talking about like, let's just worry about the common good. Let's just worry about how to be helpful. Let's just worry about, worried about having each other's backs right now and being as supportive as we can. Taking those stimulus checks or whatever and just trying to be as supportive to local businesses as you can and just trying to have a little bit of compassion and empathy. And what I'm learning is that those things were in really short supply. Like I read, I think it was BuzzFeed that had like the most ridiculous things that have been seen during the coronavirus. And one of them tragically was a screen grab of the same person's social media feed. I think it was their Facebook page. And the person in I think it was March 16th, was talking about how everyone was overreacting, that the coronavirus was nothing but a cold, and that it was ridiculous, that people were panicking and blah, blah, blah. And then within 3.5 weeks, that same person on their feed lost a family member and put up this whole thing that was stay the fuck home. Our family members are dying. And it was 3 weeks ago, you were telling people it was just a cold. And I think people are slowly learning that empathy and compassion, none of us know who is going to be affected by this next. I mean, there have been active duty military people that have succumbed to this, who obviously were healthy enough to be active duty in the military and pass the physicals. And there have been young people, there have been healthy old people, there have been 104-year-old people that by all accounts you would think would succumb to it, and they're like, nope, it ain't killing me, this ain't gonna take me. Just a little bit of empathy and a little bit of compassion, I think, is. Jim says, I'm out in the Holyoke area right now. It's just, and there are a lot of other food processing plants that obviously have been running on overtime. And another one in Illinois just had a major outbreak and had 400 people in the same plant test positive. I believe it was a pork producing plant in North Dakota that had to close, and they produce 5% of the pork in the United States. And so now they're starting to worry that if they have to close these plants because of illness, what that's going to do to food shortages. And so we got to stay compassionate and have empathy and use common sense. Don't wear a mask and then chant fire Fauci, because that's what the internet's for, is for the rest of us to make fun of you for stuff like that. These memes are just gonna live forever. So whatever you're putting up online, these videos, and all of the time we go live here in the War Room, these videos are gonna last forever. And when everything is better and the world opens up again, we're going to laugh at how stir crazy we were all going. And you guys are going to make fun of me for how I got buzzed every night and went on all these rants. And Krista says, no more bacon. No, there's going to be bacon, but these food processing plants, they're working in such close proximity and they're working such long hours that if someone gets sick in there, people are going to get sick. Like Carrie says, 5 people have died at Hormel. It's just crazy. So, yeah, somehow I found a way to make you guys bummed out after I told you that ridiculous story about the spin doctors. That's what it's like being inside my head. All this stuff is just, that's why I had to spend the day in the kitchen today, just baking cookies, because it was I needed to just take my mind off of everything. Plus my family's been begging me to bake cookies, so I kind of did that just to help them do that. So there you go. Now they get their cookies, damn it. I wanted to show you guys the artifact from the War Room tonight, but it's hanging up on the wall, so I have to take you guys over there. It was given to me after I was asked to be part of an Army anniversary celebration. So hold on, I have to hit the missile launch button light switch that I have in the War Room. So I was given this picture, and it's a print of an original watercolor. The image, I'll tell you about it before I show you it, is General George Washington commanding the troops in Cambridge after the creation of the Continental Army on June 14th, 1775. And it was presented to me because I was invited and honored to accept the invitation to be the keynote speaker on June 10th, 2016 for the New England Army Alumni Association and my participation in the celebration of the 241st Army birthday. It says the print honors the spirit of the American soldier, always ready, always leading, as well as it demonstrated my continued dedication to the men and women in our armed services. And so it's all framed. Obviously, the writing is going to be backwards, but I love the print. And they presented it to me in Salem, where the first militia muster took place in Salem Commons. So I just thought it was really beautiful, and it's the second historical print that I've received. I showed you the other one that the Adjutant General of the Mass National Guard gave me on my 20th anniversary on the air at WAAF, which was, the anniversary was just yesterday, which April 17th. This is the one that I got in 2018. So they gave me this print, but then I got that one a couple of years before. So I just love the historical aspects of the print. Somebody said 1776. Actually, it says 1775. The creation of the Continental Army, June 14th, 1775. So that's what it says. It's right there. So there you go. I wanted to show you that because I love it. And when I went to speak at it in Salem, they talked a lot about the muster and, the original units of the United States military, two of which are the 181st and 182nd Infantry from the Mass Army National Guard, who the 182nd Infantry are the guys that I was embedded with in Afghanistan. So keep your powder dry, and we uphold our ancient honors are their slogan. So got to say what's up to all of my 181 and 18 Deuce guys that might be watching. So hi guys. So that is my artifact from the war room. I'm going to have to dig for a drink recipe out of, who knows, we might get locked in here. We might get to every drink recipe in this book, and then I'm going to have to go digging through another one. Let's see. Just going to find something good in here. All right, this one is called a Matador, and it is 2 ounces of gold tequila, 2/3 of an ounce of triple sec, the juice of 1 lime, 5 ounces of pineapple juice, and a lime wedge to garnish. This sounds delicious. Shake the ingredients, strain into an ice-filled highball glass, garnish with a lime wedge, and serve. So that's gold tequila, triple sec, pineapple juice, and the juice of a lime and a lime wedge to garnish, and that's called a Matador. That sounds like an awesome, summer drink. My fear, though, with drinks that have tequila in them is that if I'm not supervised, tequila makes me want to commit crimes. Not felonies, but misdemeanors. So I got to be careful when I'm drinking tequila. And if you ever see me out and about and I'm drinking tequila, be careful. Find out how many I've had, because if it's more than 2, you may not want to be in the blast radius, just in case. You still got Wednesday's balloon. Yeah, I blew up a balloon for my dog's birthday on the 11th. It's now the 18th, and the balloon is still fine. That balloon's probably going to be there until the 4th of July, for God's sake, but I might as well just extend the birthday party. So Eric says the Matador sounds good by the fire. Yeah, it really does. Kim says clothes fall off tequila. Yes. Yes, they do. Tequila makes your clothes come off. Yeah, exactly. Margaritas with pineapple juice, ? It's basically, the triple sec is going to have that orangey thing in there too, but with the lime juice and the pineapple juice and the triple sec, that kind of sounds good. I might have to try that. It kind of sounds delicious. Tony says full of hot air. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm keeping it. Sean says it's not helium, so it'll stay inflated longer. Well, there you go. So it's my sister's birthday on Monday, and I might have to venture out of the house and go, and I don't know, I'm going to have to do something for her birthday. Because again, I feel bad that normally we'd be... She was born on April 20th, and so the 420 jokes have followed my sister's birthday forever. And she was so excited because April this year was going to be a whole month of 420. So she had a month-long birthday celebration planned. And obviously none of that is happening now. So I might have to go and do some kind of surprise for my sister's birthday coming up on Monday. Heidi wants to know where the bunny suit is. It's away. It's too hot. I got the wood stove going in here tonight. I've had the wood stoves going all day today because of the snow. Drop off cookies, Mike says. I probably will. She's going to want some for sure. She's going to want some tomato sauce as well. But, I feel bad that, I can't even go out and hang out with my sister on her birthday. And she's been quarantined at her place. And so I know that we're not going to really be hanging out much. But make her some brownies, Heidi said. I'm sure my sister can handle her own brownie making. Why am I getting messages from Mistress Carrie all of a sudden? What do you mean? You're getting alerts? Messages? What kind of messages? Like subliminal messages? Like I'm in your brain giving you messages? I don't know what that means. Blueberry Moscow mules. That sounds delicious, Jeff. A blueberry cobbler or something. I got a message. I'm going to wait until the stuff arrives to tell you guys what it is. But I got a message from somebody that used to work at WAF that works for a beverage company now that has a brand of ginger beer. And he messaged me today and said, how are you holding up with ginger beer? I want to send you a care package. So I found out I have a care package of ginger beer headed to the house, which is awesome. Have a birthday parade drive-by, which I might have to do for my sister. That would be really cool. Jen says she needs more tequila for the bunny suit. Yeah, you want me to put the bunny suit on and start doing tricks for you guys. I'm not drunk enough for that yet at all. Can't you social distance with your sister? Well, yeah, but I can't take her out anywhere. There's nowhere for us to go. That's what I mean. I want to take my sister out for a really nice dinner. Usually we try to go to the North End and have really good wine and a really good dinner. Somebody I saw online, which I thought was brilliant. So last year, the weekend before the marathon, me and a bunch of friends that were running went to Giacomo's in the North End, which is unbelievable. We waited in line for over 2 hours because they don't take reservations. It's a small place. If you've never been, they only take cash. And I had the most amazing meal ever before I ran the marathon. So someone wanted to take their mom to Giacomo's in the North End for dinner. And obviously you can't eat inside Giacomo's, but I guess they're doing takeout. So they took a pickup truck. They set up a table in the bed of the pickup truck with a tablecloth and candles. They got takeout from Giacomo's and they ate a full Italian meal from Giacomo's in the bed of the pickup truck across the street on Hanover Street in the North End. And I saw the pictures online and it's hilarious. And I was like, that is freaking genius. I would love Giacomo's right now. It's so good. Right, Steven says, awesome food. It's ridiculously good. And it was worth all of the waiting outside in line. Brenda says, send her El Camino chicken piccata. No joke. So El Camino in Leominster is this family-owned Italian restaurant that's been there for 1,000 years. I mean, it's been there forever. And if you listen the last couple days of AAF, that's the restaurant that Sully from Godsmack and I went to before he signed his record deal and I signed my contract at AAF way back in the day. And we talk about the magic raviolis and the magic meatballs. Well, that's where we got them, was from El Camino. And, just so good. How come I'm hearing dueling banjos? Dueling banjos? What, talking about Leominster? Heidi says, Wachusett blueberry beer, it's really good. Yeah, we could use that maybe as an ingredient into the blueberry cobbler as well. Mike and Becky say great chicken piccata. Yeah, the chicken piccata at El Camino is... But they have these amazing homemade raviolis that are almost as big as your head, and they are delicious. They're so good. So I got to figure out something to do for my sister's birthday on Monday. Oh, Monica says, it's the clocks that you guys are hearing again. Yes, there's 4 ticking clocks in the war room that are set to different time zones. And I don't even notice them anymore because they've been ticking like that for years. But when I stop talking, you hear them. And then the fan of my wood stove is going too tonight because I had the wood stoves burning today. So drive by on the motorcycles, Tim said. I haven't taken my motorcycle out of storage, but I did make the phone call and was like, we need to get that thing out of storage. So my bike will be on the road by the end of the month, which I can't wait for. Heidi says, I love the sound of the clocks. It's so relaxing. Yeah, like I don't even notice it. Some people come in the house and they're like, oh my God, what is that ticking? It drives me crazy. But I don't know. It just... Steve says my wife's birthday is next Thursday, the big 4-0. Yeah, like, and I'm sure, Steve, because you're a great husband, I'm sure you had all kinds of plans. You were going to wine her and dine her and have all these plans, and now you can't do any of that. However, there is Amazon and Amazon Prime, so you can still get stuff shipped to you before your wife's birthday, so you're not totally off the hook. So tread lightly about forgetting your wife's birthday. Mark says you never stop talking. Ha ha ha. Well, if I just stop talking, I've tried to do like a Facebook Live thing, and with these pages, they can't do it. That's why Mike Shue and I went on Instagram Live together the other day. And I know in the next few days, Stiz is going to come on Instagram Live with me. And then I think Mike Shue and I are going to do it again next week. Oh, want to remind you guys, Sully's Hometown Sessions is going to be on his YouTube. It's every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 o'clock. And I am going to be on the one this coming Tuesday on his YouTube. So you want to look out for that. Lisa says Il Camino is doing takeout. Oh, if you want to get in the car, you are anywhere near Leominster, and you want to go and have some amazing chicken piccata and some yummy homemade pasta, support a local business. Place an order at El Camino because it is delicious. Colleen says it's very awkward if you don't talk. Yeah, otherwise, we're just going to sit here. And you guys are just going to look at me. And it's going to be totally weird, and I'm just going to read your comments. So, yeah, I'm going to keep talking. Who else is going to talk, Kevin says. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it would be nice if I could have somebody sitting here with me, but Deborah says, you're cheering me up, you tell good stories. Well, I've got a million of them, so I guess we're not going to run out of stories anytime soon. And that says, oh my God, drunk Wii bowling. Okay, you need to live stream so that we can watch you drunk bowl on Wii. I need to watch that. That's how much we miss sports, is that I want to watch you bowl on Wii while you're drunk. Kathy says you can have someone join in on Facebook Live. Not on these pages, I can't. I've tried. It doesn't work. It only works on like a personal profile page, but not on what Facebook considers a fan page. And profile pages only let you have 5,000 friends, which is why anyone that uses their Facebook page for like business or like the Mistress Carrie page where you would like it instead of friend request, those pages function differently, and unfortunately, they won't let me go Facebook Live with anyone else. Otherwise, I would do it. Get your sister on an iPad or something with you on her birthday. Yeah, maybe I could like put her on the iPad behind me. And she made a brief appearance on that short documentary that if you go to the Mistress Carrie Facebook page, there's a button that says watch video, and there's like a 15-minute documentary that was made about me a few years ago. I think the video came out in 2014 or like late 2013 by a film student at Emerson. And it's like a 15-minute documentary, and my sister got interviewed for that. So she's on it for a few minutes. Let's see. Kevin says, I love Wii tennis. Can you and whoever create a regular profile page and do a live with them and then post the link here? We could try. We've been researching a bunch of stuff, and then you'd have to be friends with us to be able to see it. And it was just easier to go live on Instagram and then to do the Cocktails in the War Room live on Facebook. We've tried a bunch of different combinations. The only other way to really do it, I got the hiccups, is to go live on YouTube and post the link everywhere, which I'm looking into that as well. So we'll see what happens. we'll see what happens with that. So, all right, one more sip of the delicious lemon moonshine. It's Saturday. Tomorrow is going to be sunny and 60, at least in Massachusetts. So do what you can, since today kind of sucked and was cold and snowy and whatever. Oh, wait, Jeremy says my son turned 31 today. He is in North Carolina. But I spent my night discussing awesome WAF carry and shoe moments. There you go. Tell your son happy birthday, and then he shares it with Mark Tremonti. So try to go outside and get some sun tomorrow, and go outside and enjoy the beautiful weather. Just get a little bit of exercise, some sun, get out in the yard. I'm going to take Wednesday for a nice walk tomorrow. I'm going to get my fire pit kind of ready so that I can hang out there at night when it's nice outside and have a fire, instead of being inside with the wood stoves, like be outside with a fire pit, and, just try to enjoy it tomorrow, and try and get our brains happy again. And we made it through another day. The next couple weeks, I know it's going to be hard here. And then, in other states, if you're watching from somewhere else, down south or out west, the surge for those states is going to be delayed because they didn't get hit as early as some of the Northeast states did, or Washington State did. And so, we're all kind of riding this roller coaster together, but every state is kind of reacting to it a little bit differently. And so we know that there isn't going to be anytime soon that we're going to put the news on, and there isn't going to be sad news. And there isn't going to be anytime soon that you're not hearing that a friend or a family member or someone that you know, somebody that you worked with, lost someone that they love to this virus. So we need to do everything we can to stay healthy. And I don't just mean physically healthy, because obviously that's going to keep you from succumbing to the virus yourself if you're exposed, but mentally healthy as well. This depression, it's real, and it's affecting people. I spent a lot of time today on Zoom with a bunch of my very old friends that I grew up with and went to school with, and then also a bunch of my college friends. And one of my college friends was supposed to join a bunch of us on Zoom, and she didn't. And we know because she's in New York, and she's isolated, and she's having a really hard time with it, and she's really depressed. And we were hoping that she was going to get on Zoom with us today, and we know that she just is having a hard time. So, the depression, the isolation, the mental illness part of this is really hard for people. It's hard for kids to even wrap their brain around why they can't go and hang out with their friends. And so I want to give you guys all these numbers again, just in case you need them, or in case someone that you know needs them. mass.gov/COVID-19 is where you can get all the Massachusetts resources and information. SafeLink, which is the number if you are having any kind of domestic violence issues. That's 877-785-2020. The the National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 1-800-273-8255. And you can also reach them online at suicidepreventionlifeline.org. And then the Nursing Home Family Research Line here in Massachusetts is 617-660-5399. Leo says many first responders have taken their own lives. It's true. This isn't just going to be difficult for the people that have been isolated in their homes, but the people that are on the front lines of this. I talked about it yesterday, that they interviewed someone that works in a hospital and has for the last 3 years. And they said they've seen more death in the last 3 weeks than they've seen in the last 3 years at work. And these healthcare providers are going to need time to decompress when this is over. And they are going to have to reintegrate. The same way that deployed troops have to find a way to reintegrate when they come home, these first responders and healthcare providers are going to have to find a way to reintegrate and go back to normal after what they've seen and the tempo and the tone of how they've been working. And we are going to need, as a society, to be okay having open and honest conversations about mental health. I mean, I've been talking about this within the veteran community for years because so many of them are these type A, macho, strong, just amazing warriors that don't want to talk about weakness and don't want to talk about needing help and don't want to talk about what they struggle with. But as we've seen, the suicide epidemic in the veterans community has been there for a long time. And I fear that if we are not open and honest with our first responders and our healthcare workers, when we finally start to get this coronavirus epidemic under control, these people that have been dealing with it on the front lines, behind the walls of these hospitals, isolated, where none of us can see what they're going through, we need to make sure that they know that we are there to support them and that there are resources for them. Because we can't afford to lose our first responders and we can't afford to lose our healthcare workers. We need them. We need them on our worst days. I remember the day I crashed my motorcycle. Those guys that were there for me, the firefighters that pulled over that were off duty, and then the paramedics that were on duty in the ambulance, they were there on my worst day. And we are going to need these people to be able to get up and go back to work so they can deal with the regular things they deal with, the car accidents, the motorcycle accidents, the illnesses, the broken bones, what they're dealing with right now, above and beyond all of that. I can't imagine what that's like. And I've been in a family of healthcare workers and first responders for generations. And that is just not something that I could handle. I don't know how they all do it. They're heroes. So we just got to be open and honest about things. And we have just got to be there for each other and be supportive. And everybody needs to know it's okay to struggle, because we're all going to struggle at one point or another. And we just need to know that when you're struggling on one day, there's someone that struggled yesterday that's strong today that's going to be there for you. And that's what we all need to be for each other right now, is just to be strong for each other. And we are going to be better for it. So keep your heads up, guys. Be appreciative. Show love to all of the people that have our back right now. Stay strong. Get outside tomorrow. Get in the sun if you can. If you're working tomorrow, especially, these essential workers, everybody that's out there making things better for the rest of us. Thank you, guys. You will never know how much we love and appreciate you. And I love you guys and appreciate you guys, and stay strong. We're all going to get through this. So keep your chin up, keep your shoulders back, put your horns in the air. We got this. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night.